The Legend of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Part 1, Chapter 46, Fire. Leonardo bared his teeth and roared with each manoeuvre, both hands gripping his sword as tightly as a mother would grip her young child's hand whilst crossing the street. Leonardo was doing really well at blocking the ninja, but was not fast enough to attack him back. Something was wrong. He was sure he would have been able to take down someone double this speed. It was as if he was somehow slower than usual, but that didn't make sense. He had been training harder than ever before. Maybe his dad was right, and he had been overworking after all. The ninja thrust his sword upwards and Leonardo failed to block it, having allowed himself to get distracted by his own thoughts once again. As a reflex, Leonardo jumped backwards, but forgot to cover himself and left himself open, and the ninja struck him in the torso with his right foot. As Leonardo propped himself up off the floor for the third time, he really hoped his brothers would be finished with whatever they were doing soon, and would also remember to meet him at the north entrance. All the while, Donatello and Michelangelo had been conquering battles of their own. Unfortunately, these were with each other, and nobody was set to win. "For the last time, be quiet!" Donatello whispered. They were both hiding from a large group of guard ninjas that had been summoned after Donatello's failed attempt to rewire the alarm system. They were currently wedged together in a small partition between a cupboard and a wall, having been chased by the aforementioned ninjas into an office-like room that, other than them and a load of computers with desks, was currently empty. "But I need the bathroom," Mikey whispered. "Do you realise that you are making enough noise to alert people in Australia that you need the bathroom, and that we are currently trying to evade the capture of enemies that will kill us or worse?" "What's worse than killing us?" "I do not know, and I do not wish to find out, so shut up already!" Donnie hissed. Donatello then listened carefully to check that the coast was clear, and when all he picked up was absolute silence, he carefully snuck his bony, green, and slightly egg-shaped head out of the impromptu enclosure. Nothing. "I think we're okay to move now," Donnie whispered. "Great! Now where is—" Michelangelo started loudly saying, before Donatello squeezed his hand over Mikey's mouth while snarling quietly, "Be silent!" Just then, a sound caused both the turtles to jolt their heads towards a door at the end of the office. Both boys fell into stance and withdrew their weapons. It turned out to just be a rat scuttling across the ground, but in the confined space of the office, this movement resulted in Donatello accidentally destroying an expensive and brand new looking computer system, which fell onto a valuable in appearance printer, which in turn knocked over a highly priced water cooler, which splashed onto a tough to replace electrical socket, and subsequently ignited. "Oh, now who's the doofus?" sang Michelangelo. "Get to the door! We have to go! I can't fight the fire!" Donatello shouted, already scrambling to the door as the fire engulfed the entire cubicle that they had only moments ago been standing in. "We've got to get everyone out of here!" Mikey yelled as they left the room. "Are you insane?" "No, scratch that! You are insane!" Donatello answered, exasperated. "Do you really want their deaths on your—" Mikey struggled to think of the word, so settled for a description. "Soul thing beginning with C." "Conscience and no, I guess I don't." Donatello quickly checked his shell cell. What a wonderful time to get no signal. "You go and try and find Leo, Raph and April. I'll check every room and get everyone out." Michelangelo dashed around the corridors for 5 minutes before practically running over Raphael and April, who had just come out of a dark room with the word security written on the door. Whoa, slow down, bro. Why the rush?" was Raph's greeting. "Fire! Office! Gotta leave now!" Mikey managed, majorly out of breath from his panicked dash around the building to locate them. April and Mikey, with Raph carrying the surveillance woman, made their way to the north side of the building and found Leonardo in the main space of the warehouse in a very fierce battle with a handsome ninja. He was swiping at Leo with swords in every possible direction and style, and Leo trying to jump, dodge, or block said swipes. "Leonardo!" April yelled. "We have to leave now! There's a fire!" The band of ninjas watching the fight dispersed and gradually left the building as the strong smell of toxic smoke slowly but surely filled the room. Leonardo asked, "Where is Donatello?" "He went to go and save the others," Mikey replied. "What a stupid thing to do! He could die, and for what? To save a bunch of low-life scum?" Raph sulked. "Mikey has a point. We can't just let these people die, no matter how much we hate them." Leonardo then coughed and spluttered. "That being said, we need to get out of here quickly." All the while, Donatello was checking the final 2 rooms of the warehouse. The first was an empty office, but from the second, Donatello could swear he could hear various chirps, barks, and other animal cries. He, with a single swift movement of his leg, kicked down the door and gasped at the hundreds of wild animals, pets, and aquatic creatures living in squalor, dirty, and far too small tanks and cages. Donatello started by carrying all the aquatic tanks out of the room through the fire exit, and then he bashed open with his bow various cages, and most animals leapt out immediately. However, some remained cowering in their cells and forced the turtle to try and grab them. This scared them further and got Donatello a fair amount of scratch and bite marks. He knew he could always heal them, but boy did they sting. After he had removed all the animals from the cells and let them out of the building, he hoped someone else would find them and rehome them. He noticed one particular animal who refused to move and instead stared at him with adoringly beady eyes. It was a fuzzy-looking medium dog in stature, although its proportions suggested it was only a puppy. On a closer look, Donatello realised it must be a black and white husky puppy, based on the pointy ears and general wolfy look. Long story short, cute and defenceless. He began to pick up the filthy and matted animal, who passionately licked him on the neck. Donatello would have probably enjoyed this encounter more if the smoke in the room was not aching his eyes, obscuring his vision and making him hot and gasping for breath.